So PlayStation has decided to show an amazing demo that showcases how fast the next generation console performs in a live demo they did. And while we're still a little while away from getting the official look at the PlayStation 5, the company in the last few weeks has decided to showcase a lot of what they think separates the consoles from the current generation. From the time Mark Cerny took the time to explain what the system will have to some extent, which I covered in a previous video last month, but the one thing that he really hit home with was the loading times between starting a game and loading in the world. He used an example of Spider-Man and how it took about 15 seconds to load from one end of the map to the next part of the map. Well, this new video showed an awesome glimpse of that loading power. But before I get into all of that, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. The support is greatly appreciated. But let's dive into this. The Wall Street Journal's Takashi Mokuzuki, sorry if I got that wrong, uploaded a video on Twitter where he showed the same scene described by Mark Cerny. The footage on the screen was showing the same scene being loaded from the next generation PS5 hardware and a current generation PS4 Pro. It's comparing how long the last generation's consoles take to load a world compared to the PS5. And I'm going to play this footage for you to see and understand exactly what I'm talking about. As you can see, it takes less than a second for the world of Spider-Man to load in, while the PS4 Pro takes up to 8 to 10 seconds. The time difference is staggering. The PS5 takes 0.8 seconds to load the world in. But it doesn't stop there. The next test shows how fast the world can load in while you are traveling at high speeds. This makes sense to show Spider-Man because of the way you traverse. Mark Cerny described how they had to have Spider-Man only travel at a certain rate so the world can load in on time. Well, as you can see in the demo, this isn't going to be a problem at all for the next generation consoles. As you can see, the PS4 Pro freezes up consistently when you try to travel at very high speeds through the city that is being loaded in. As for the PS5 hardware, it travels very smoothly and has no hitches or pop-in load textures at all. This will give the developers so much more freedom to create worlds that they see are best for the entire gaming experience without the limitation of a hard disk drive. Now, as you can see, this drastic reduction in loading times is something that Sony wanted to reiterate about the next generation tech. As we saw with Mark Cerny when he showed the same thing back in April when the PS5 was confirmed, there are of course other details about the console we don't know about yet, but over time those details will start to come out. But as for now, we know for a fact that the move from hard disk drives to solid state drives, also known as SSDs, will make a huge difference for everyone that adopts the next generation of consoles. And while I'm not sure that Sony wanted this footage to be released to the public, it's still something that a lot of people have said we needed in the next generation consoles. As games have evolved over the last couple of years this generation, the amount of detail put into each game has really made the load times for some games extremely difficult to wait for. One of which was a recent game that came out, Metro Exodus, which takes up to 2 or 3 minutes for the game to load in, perhaps even longer. It's one of those load times where you're like, wow, I really can't wait to see what next gen does so we can get rid of this and have better quality of life. And seeing how this new load time is something Sony is touting as the next big thing for their next generation consoles, it does seem logical to leak some of the footage to showcase exactly what Mark Cerny was talking about last month. As for me, this is a direct answer to a lot of other companies trying to get into the gaming market, one of which is Google with Google Stadia, who when they showcased their demo a few months ago really did emphasize that they have no load screens or installing of games, which is a huge advantage in the quality of life aspect of gaming. And to some extent, it is a little bit of a shot given at Xbox because they haven't shown anything about their new systems, but that will probably change during E3 in the next few weeks. We still have a lot of PS4 games that still need to come out, and Microsoft has kept all their details very close to the vest in regards to their next Xbox Project Scarlet. But for me, I've said for months now that the biggest difference in these new consoles will be the new SSD and the CPU parts that will come with the new consoles. The new CPU will allow for far greater animations, AI, worlds, details, and of course physics. It will be such a massive jump from this current generation that a lot of people will be very surprised at how drastic of a change it is. But in order for the developers to get the best out of the CPU, they would need to have it match up with an amazing SSD hardware. And that's exactly what this demo is showcasing. You'll be able to see completely different aspects and mechanics in games just from the sheer power that the SSD will give developers. Being able to load everything in a split second will allow developers to give us, the gamers, new gameplay features and other cool mechanics we've never seen before. I'm excited to see what they can provide us, especially since it seems that both consoles will be doing almost the same thing. Talk about great competition. But enough about what I think. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Does this demo impress you? Is the prospect of having worlds load in extremely fast and fluid give developers even more freedom? Did you ever think you'll be able to join a game and have no loading time? Is this enough reason for you to invest in the new generation console? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Any support helps the channel out more than you know. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my videos. Also follow me on Twitch. The link will be in the description. If you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games. I hope to see you guys there. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.